While Sabrina Carpenter had massive success with her album Short and Sweet, her new album has been a topic of discussion, but many feel negative towards it. What's up guys? Welcome or welcome back. So today we're going to be diving into the world of music. Now for me this isn't just a world. This is Wonderland. I'm exaggerating, but now we're specifically going into the pop world, and even more specific, Sabrina Carpenter. So basically, if you don't know, which is like... Basically, she's a singer, and she's been popular for a while now for acting and singing.
Star, just pretend the ball is a piece of fried chicken.
But she became really popular this year, and especially last year, with hits like Espresso and Please Please Please. And she's coming out with a new album this year too, called Man's Best Friend. And while many people were excited to hear this news, you know, your favorite singer is coming out with new music, especially very shortly after her last album compared to other artists, it has received a lot of backlash for many reasons. So we're gonna be getting into that right now. So basically the main criticism she's receiving is people think she's feeding into the male gaze and promotes anti-feminism. And while hearing these claims, you may be like, what does she do? Because those are some serious accusations, but we're going to be getting into that. So basically, first of all, in her new album cover, it shows her on all fours, one, and then she has like a man holding her by her ponytail, I believe. And yeah, some people thought this was normal, some people just turned a blind eye to it, but other people saw this more serious and said that she looks like and is resembling women being submissive to other men, and even people said she's resembling them being treated like dogs.
I just want to say Sabrina Carpenter is not a feminist and never was. First of all, everything she says is contradictory. She want to call man-childs, and she want to be like, oh, I hate all men, but literally you're begging every man to come up. Then you're saying you're a little nina, come put it in my casita, whatever the she said. She oversexualizes herself and she objectifies herself actively while saying she supports feminism and she's all about feminism. You're not a feminist because all you're doing is hating men and being overly sexual when your audience isn't even over the age of 18.
Here in this tweet we have, Sabrina will never make it as a serious artist if she keeps making covers for the straight male gaze. Now before we get into that, I think it's important we find out what we're saying, because if you don't know, the male, you might have an idea of what it is, but it's not the same thing. Basically what the male gaze is in specifically movies. I don't know how to specifically describe it, but basically the camera will be like panning, and the camera's supposed to be like visualizing what it would be to like have that gaze.
They're freeze frames from the movie, okay? The perspective that we're seeing is over the shoulder of a man. It's still a man's perspective.
And they said like, people saying that doesn't make sense because you can't do that in real life. But overall, we get what they're trying to say. And then with feminism promotes like going against sexism and overall having full gender equality. And people think with Sabrina posing this way and promoting this, it goes against those ideas. With her like bowing down to the man in the photo and then him like kind of controlling her, as you can see with the hair. But that wasn't the only problem in general. Basically, not only with the album cover, she also did a vinyl cover, and it was her like kind of tied up to the bed and then a man at the end of it, just also feeding into that narrative that people aren't liking. And then aside from that, obviously she had a photo shoot for the new album. And with this photo shoot, style of photos she chose to do, people thought she was referencing the Lolita movie and she was playing the girl in that movie. People had a problem with this because with her album, you can see she's like promoting doing adult, you know, and doing things of that nature. And the girl in the movie is not of that age yet. Here we have, can Sabrina literally stop referencing the Lolita movie? It's not even a coincidence anymore. And then here we also have people shocked at Sabrina Carpenter doing a Lolita photo shoot as if she didn't say she looks like a little girl in the same sentence as asking someone to put something her. Can I say this on YouTube? We'll figure it out. Was the movie Juno and knowingly asked a 16-year-old in her audience if they were. Basically, in her concert, when she performs the song Nonsense, at the end of it, at her specifically concerts, she kind of does a play on words off the actual lyrics. And when she was in a specific city, one of the play on words was something involving her saying she looks like a girl, little girl, and then she wants something. Yeah. That's what they're talking about. And then also live, she has a song called Juno. And in the movie Juno, a 16-year-old gets And she has a song kind of like saying she'll let someone make her Juno, kind of like promoting that. Not promoting that, but like being less sensitive towards it. But going back to the Lolita thing, Sabrina had actually responded to this and said, it says here, Sabrina shuts down claims that she referenced Lolita in a W magazine photo shoot. She said, quote, "I've never seen this movie, it's never been on my mood board and never would be." So I guess that gets debunked. So obviously with all these claims coming in and all these arguments, there's going to be some defense. On the other hand, other fans think that it's not that serious. And with this cover and the music and just all of it in general, it's just trying to tell a story. And it's just art. Here we have this, we have a fan that thought it was an exaggeration and they said, how y'all want Sabrina to dress for her photo shoots? And honestly, some people did have a problem with how she dressed, which it's like, people be wearing anything, and I think we're aware of that. So, and she doesn't wear anything that mind-blowing. And then also people defending her took into consideration what other music artists have done. Most commonly Britney Spears. Well, if Sabrina says, "I'm a slave for you" in a song, y'all will bury her at stake. And this was replying to someone saying, pop girls aren't hungry like this anymore. And I can definitely agree with that, because it's like people in the music world, especially pop, or honestly just music in general, have done worse. And then also rebutting the claims that she's promoting anti-feminism. Some people think it's purposeful. You know, instead of women being told they're dogs, she's kind of embracing that role. And overall, she could just be reclaiming that narrative. Here we have her getting compared to another artist. So when Chris Brown does this, he gets praised, but when Sabrina does it, she gets crucified. That doesn't seem fair. And this also mentions the Juno thing. People can't even handle Sabrina saying, "Have you ever tried this one?"
Sabrina Carpenter's album cover feels a lot like the headline, "Hot Grown Pop Star is Hot and Grown on Album Cover." In other breaking news, spoon found in drawer. It's not radical one way or the other. It's not setting feminism back 150 years, but it's also not a radical, satirical, ironic piece. It just is. It's not the freakiest thing that a person can do in their intimate life. It's not even the freakiest thing she's ever done on stage. It's not that crazy to think about.
Overall, I agree. A lot of the times people want celebrities to be one way. If they were to be doing that thing that people want, people would still have problems with it. And overall, some people just can't be satisfied. Here we have someone rebutting the Lolita claims. I think the most stupid part about all of this insane discourse is how people are too dumb to realize that both Sabrina and Lolita 1977 used imagery from that time period. Sabrina isn't emulating Lolita, she's emulating the time period that Lolita takes place in. That further just gets rid of that claim. There's been arguments and there's been rebuttals. People have many opinions, but Sabrina has came forward and said hers. So I don't know if she's talking about specifically her new album and the backlash she's received because of that, but she's talking about how people criticize her and just in general. She said, "It's always so funny to me when people complain. They're like, all she does is sing about this, but those are the songs that you have made popular. Clearly you love. You're obsessed with it. It's in my shows, the Juno positions, but those are the ones you post every night and comment on. I can't control that." And I can definitely agree with that, because obviously she's going to keep doing what's made her famous and what's working for her, and clearly that works in her favor because that's what's getting her popular. You know, the Juno positions, the lyrics, just everything she's doing. Now that was just for things in general, but involving the new album release, all I've seen that she did was turn off her comments promoting that album cover. But overall, Sabrina and a lot of female singers get criticized for the things they wear and the way they present themselves and the things they promote. But sometimes these things are just misunderstood and misinterpreted, or sometimes these things are shown or talked about, but they have a deeper meaning and they're trying to promote something else, like how people said she could be reclaiming that narrative. And overall, I think it's just art and music, and she's doing what works with her and what she wants to represent for the album. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. That is it for now. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and let me know what else you want me to comment on, talk about. See you later.